Welcome back.
To Marriage Beyond the Veil.
So today is 290, which means it's time for a jewel. So, as I was thinking about the jewel for today, of course, with my twisted sense of humor, I was like, the singer jewel with a plethora, a veritable hoard of songs. And I thought, surely we can find a jewel from Jewel. And from her debut album, 1995. How many of you were alive in 95? And how many of you right now about 95? Anyway, the song is Foolish Games. And I just thought that is a great jewel to avoid playing foolish games when you're talking about people's emotions and people's hearts.
Yeah, well, as we've discussed time and time again, we don't really get into foolishness when it comes to our emotions. But, I mean, I don't think that a lot of times people realize that they're playing with people's heart.
Well, and I would say that
they're selfish and self-centered.
And that's what I was going to say.
Childish,
more times
immature.
than not, they just aren't aware, period, because the individual is not at the top of their list of priorities.
Right.
And so, Jewel starts out, the song has a real somber tone.
Yeah.
And she addresses this individual, basically, somebody that is... he's intelligent, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can speak about culture and Baroque and he loves Mozart. But basically, he's intellectual, right? He has culture. He has all that going for him. He has great fashion sense, which he could care less about. The song says all these things. But he also can care less about her. So he has all of this to offer from maybe an intellectual, a social perspective, but he's emotionally detached, unavailable.
Unfortunately, for the most times when people are unemotionally detached, they don't know that they are.
Well, and it comes from a sense of pain, a place of pain.
Yeah.
But she says, in case you failed to notice, in case you failed to see, this is my heart bleeding before you. This is me down on my knees. And these foolish games are tearing me apart. And your thoughtless words are breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. For persons in love relationships with someone, and if you recognize this is your love interest, you have to ask yourself, okay, why are you subjecting yourself to be treated this way?
Yep.
Because I really believe we teach people how to treat us based on what we allow and what we refuse to allow. And so, Gail and I have mentioned this many times. When people come to a relationship, they bring everything with them that they have accumulated. Bad relationships, scars, wounds, all of that kind of stuff. But when someone shows up and they may have much to offer, but they can't offer themselves fully,
right?
Then make no mistake, it's on some level you may be caught being a participant in their foolish games, which will impact you in a negative way, which will hurt you.
Last lines of this song I love. You took your coat off, stood in the rain. You're always crazy like that.
You were always crazy like that. Well, there's another portion of the song where she says, excuse me, thinking that, because what she said, excuse me, think I've mistaken you for somebody else. Somebody who basically gave a damn, like me, she says. And that's the thing. You can't project onto another person how you feel and how you operate. If that's not who they are, then you have to be willing to recognize that's who they are. And if that's not what you need, then light bulb moment, you need to begin to see, why am I here? Because again, what we want to attempt to do with this jewel is heighten your awareness. If you are somebody who doesn't have the ability to be fully present in a relationship, then maybe you don't need to be in a relationship. Don't play foolish games with people's affections, emotions, and their heart. By the same token, if you're in the relationship and you're the one that is being hurt repeatedly because this person is not making you a priority, they're not being able to be fully present for you in the way that you need, then don't participate in the foolish game.
Yeah, because again, someone that takes off their coat and stands in the rain.
You were always crazy that way. So until
You're
tomorrow.
not feeling anything.
Until tomorrow. If the Lord says the same, avoid foolish games.
Have a good evening.